in your pocket.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you leave anything at the house with Jessica?
She'll steal that shit. She was one that.
Are you still together with Jessica now?
No, I'm in prison.
You guys don't talk on the phone?
Once in a while.
Okay, but we'll get back to that in a second. Oh, here we go. All right, so talking again about the mark on it, on the envelope that you say that you did not put, okay? I'm going to refer you to your deposition on March 22nd, page 187. Lines 3 to 10. No, I left it just how it was. You put it in there and handed her the envelope. Was it sealed, like sealed? It was sealed. She can't open it. Without you knowing, without me knowing, she'd have to ask me, can I open this? I got the tape, so once you break the tape and you seal it, you've got to rip it off. So you would have known if she had gone in there. I would have known.
Yeah, if she breaks it, but there was no mark. You said a mark like a marker, a pen. You ain't said nothing about no tape.
Hold on. Okay, so that's your testimony today. She could have just opened it and put it in the same type of envelope and you would have never known. No, because whatever I give you, I'm going to put a mark on it, on the envelope, to see if you touched it. So when I get it back, the mark is still there. And when you got it back, was the mark still there?
Whatever I give you, I put a mark to it, but I never put a mark.
But you heard what I just testified to.
I heard.
Okay, so those were your words.
Yeah, but I never marked it.
Okay, but your testimony today is you didn't mark it.
Never marked it.
But you told us back then that you did.
I don't remember that. You're reading it right now, but I don't remember none of that. I never marked no.
Okay, but we're going to make it clear for the jury that...
Let's not get into statements, ask questions, Ms. Kowalski.
Okay. You do remember, though, in March, Mr. DeCosta and myself sitting down and asking you questions, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You have no... we explained to you what the court reporter did and put everything down that you said, right?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. Another thing I want to talk to you about, since your memory has seemed to lapse.
Ms. Kowalski, we don't need any statements, editorial comments. Jury will disregard the attorney's comments.
Before testifying today, how many times have you met with the state's attorney?
A few times.
And I'm talking about within the past few weeks to prepare you for your testimony today. How many times did you meet with them?
Nobody really got to prepare me. I'm prepared, but I met him a few times.
You're prepared for your testimony today?
I know nothing but the truth. Everything I say is the truth.
Is it?
Yes, ma'am.
So when you were sitting down with the state's attorney, because you testified yesterday that they were showing you some CDs, right?
Yesterday?
You testified on direct that they had shown you some CDs, right?
Yeah.
With the car, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So they were showing you their evidence, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But they didn't go over all of your recorded statements with you?
For what?
Because they knew you were testifying today.
I'm going to remember half of this.
You are going to remember after my cross-examination what happened?
I'm going to remember half of this stuff, not everything.
So your memory is going to get better when I'm finished?
No, as you're reading some of the questions, I refreshed my memory. I remember what you had on last week Saturday. Do you remember? I don't remember what I had on yesterday sometimes.
Last week Saturday, I was wearing...
Ms. Kowalski.
Okay.
Ask a question, please. Jury disregard the attorney's comment.
But it is fair to say that you are the state's witness in this case, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You knew you were testifying about the events that took place over the past 5 years to date, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you ask them to provide you with copies of your statements?
Did I ask them?
Yes, you did. So did they read you your statements since you can't read?
Yes, ma'am.
So you read all of the statements that we have been referring to, but you still testify today that you don't remember giving those statements?
You just asked me about the state, and I said yes.
Okay, so what are you now telling me you don't remember?
There's some things I don't remember been happened 5 years ago.
Okay, but my question to you is, the state provided you and read to you all of your statements, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You just testified that when I ask you certain questions, it jogs your memory, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So when they did that, it didn't jog your memory?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
so it's fair to say then that you'd agree with me your memory doesn't get better with time.
I don't.
It does. It gets worse.
It
So
get
there's
worse.
no way we're ever going to, that you're going to remember better in the future, correct?
I sit down and think about this. I do, and I remember a few things, not everything.
Okay, but you never reached out to myself or Mr. DeCoste with any...
That's not appropriate. He doesn't have any obligation to do so. He has an attorney that He has an attorney that they communicate through. He doesn't have any obligation to talk to the attorneys for the other side. You can proceed, Ms. Kawase.
All right, so let's go back to it. You gave Jessica money, didn't you?
Yes, ma'am.
You bought Jessica a car, correct?
Yes, I did.
And you gave her $2,000 in cash to pay her rent, right?
Yes, I did.
So she'll be able to tell us that you gave her money.
Yes.
All right. Now, you remember when Sigfredo Garcia and Katherine Magbanua got back together, right?
I don't remember when they got back together.
Pacquiao fight sound familiar?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that about right?
Yeah.
Okay. When was the Pacquiao fight?
I don't remember the date.
Was it close to when you got arrested?
No, I don't remember.
Okay, so the Pacquiao, does it sound like May 2015? That's when you were arrested by the feds, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and is the Pacquiao fight close around that time?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's when they got back together?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you were arrested for the Fed case in May of 2015, and eventually you were in the Coleman facility, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, they have TVs in the Feds, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you're able to see everything that comes on the news.
Mm-hmm.
And Sigfredo never came to visit you, right?
Nope.
You did speak to him twice, though, while you were incarcerated, right?
Yes, I did.
How'd you speak to him?
To my brother. It was on New Year's, I believe. I called.
Who
And he
is
was in the
Lean
house.
Back?
Excuse me?
Who is Lean Back?
Lean back?
Mm-hmm.
That's a king.
That's a king. Okay. Was he using a specific email address while you were in Coleman in 2016 to communicate with you?
Yeah.
And you would then send him messages to send out to people and text message them, correct?
I don't remember me sending him text messages like that, but I don't remember.
But there was a situation, you could get messages to people on the outside, right?
Yeah, it's to the computer, to the email.
Through the email. And who is Ratatouille?
Ratatouille.
Between you and Jessica, who is the nickname for Ratatouille?
Tuto.
Tuto, okay? As in Sigfredo Garcia.
Yes, ma'am.
So you know we have all of the emails that you have from around the time of 2016, right?
Yes, ma'am. Everything in the feds get recorded.
They record everything, right?
Everything.
Do you remember around May 10th, 11th of 2016, Jessica needed some money, right?
I don't remember.
And she asked you to send Ratatouille's phone number, correct?
Object to hearsay and relevance?
Give you a little leeway, but let's bring it to some point pretty quickly.
I'll do it right now.
Sustain the objection.
Did you communicate with Sigfredo Garcia in May of 2016 through that medium that I spoke about,
Yeah,
asking him for money?
I think I did.
Okay. Another thing too, how many brothers do you have?
Got 6.
6 brothers? Okay. But you've known Sigfredo Garcia since you were 5, 6 years old?
Yes, ma'am.
He knows how all your brothers look like?
Of course.
He knows all your brothers.
My whole family.
He knows their phone numbers.
Yeah.
Now, after the news broke on the media, Jessica came to see you, right?
Yeah, my mom, my sister, Jessica, they all came to see me.
And when they came to see you, they were able to sit down in the contact room with you, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And have a conversation, right?
Of course.
And Jessica, at this point, had already looked up everything. She knew what the case was against you.
She's smart. Yeah.
Okay. Now, when you get to Leon County, you said that your attorney was Chuck Collins, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you happy with Chuck Collins?
I was satisfied.
Okay. Isn't it true that you felt that he was forcing you to take a plea?
Forced me to take a plea?
I'll sustain the objection.
So, let us talk about the deal that you got in this case. Okay? You were charged with first-degree murder, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Just like Sigfredo Garcia and
Yes,
just
ma'am.
like Katherine Magbanua.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? In exchange for the testimony that you gave today, right?
Yes, ma'am.
They reduced it from first-degree murder to second-degree murder, right?
Objection asked and answered.
Overruled.
to second-degree murder, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then you received a 19-year sentence, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, the jury may not understand this, but this is to run concurrent with your federal sentence, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you get to serve it in the federal facility, not the state facility.
I gotta do my Fed time first.
No, your Fed time first, but your Fed time counts to your state time.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it's not like you're doubling up, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And which facility is better, Leon County or the federals? The federal detention center.
Of course.
Which one?
The Feds.
They got better food,
I ain't worrying about the food, but it's better.
but it's just generally better, right?
It's better.
What is a minimum mandatory?
A minimum mandatory?
Mm-hmm.
The minimum mandatory, what, of the 19 years?
Well, you don't have a minimum mandatory on your 19 years, right?
No?
If you were, for example, the shooter in this case, and you received the 25-year minimum mandatory in the case, you would have to serve every single day of that 25 years, right?
Yes, ma'am.
If there's no minimum mandatory, you get what we call gain time,
Yes, ma'am.
time off for good behavior.
Yes, ma'am.
There is no probation to follow this, right?
No, ma'am.
Now, Ms. Kappelman brought up in her direct examination that you are facing, well, she said 30, but it's really 15 years on your probation violation, correct?
Yes,
Out of
ma'am.
Miami.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's explore that. You were on probation when you got picked up for the federal case, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then you just went to the feds, and they kind of forgot about your state case, right?
I guess.
You guessed. Isn't it true that you only found out about that outstanding warrant for the probation violation when we told you in March?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Kappelman didn't even know about it.
No, ma'am.
Neither did your lawyer.
Nope.
And no one considered that. That wasn't even a consideration in your plea.
No, ma'am.
It's your lawyer's mess up, right?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, so the deal you got from the state was just 19 years.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You're a convicted felon, right?
Yeah.
How many times?
I don't know.
You don't know? Would looking at your certified priors refresh your recollection?
I don't know. I don't keep count with this.
Okay, do you want me to go through them with you?
We'll do that as part of the rest